the horsepower to get these guys forward. The sign is up and we're getting ready to go racing.
And here we are with some facts. In 20 years, we've had 18 different winners. We're going to get a different one here tonight. They're getting set to go. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be underway. There it is, the start. Right dead center out of the front. Millsap. Matt Walker gets passed by a half a dozen guys, and they go into turn number one. What a scramble. We didn't see anybody going down, at least in this shot. And it looks like everybody has got a good, clean, safe start.
Looks to me like Brian McGordy got another great start, running third right now.
Donnie McGordy on number 248 out of Florida. You know, he's really going crazy.
Langston's off the track as Millsap's rebounds and lateral.
Langston down, other Kawasaki down again.
This is setting it up, Brian, for a great race. The two fastest riders, both heat winners, coming from behind.
And now Matt Walker going down and getting T-boned really hard by Greg Schnell. So there goes our, our theory as far as Matt Walker is concerned. But it's really good that he's up and rolling because that was a hard hit.
Now, I talked about Donnie McGordy getting another great start. Wasn't that long ago he was doing the amateur ranks. So that's the same thing for our leader as we look at Matt Walker trying to get going. Josh Grant, who signed with Factory Connection, the first outdoor national of his career. He pulled the whole shot, led the race.
You got Josh Grant, McGordy, and Adams out front, and coming through the pack is Davey Millsap. You see him wasting no time banging on Mills, but no!
Down he goes, another big pileup. Lots of guys involved in this one, and it is unbelievable how much action we've got going on already.
That was the replay, Brian, of what happened on the first lap with Millsap. He was trying to be safe and tuck it up the inside, and he got hit from behind and knocked down. He's got the speed to win the race. The riders out front are 2 to 3 seconds slower a lap, so we're going to see something really exciting down the final laps.
Well, clearly, I don't need any more than that to make it exciting. I'm looking at the second time something happened, thought it was happening again. But out in front, it's Grant, McGordy, Adams, the top three, and some of our pre-race favorites are really got their work cut out for them, with the exception of Hansen.
This is a huge opportunity, Rick, don't you think, for Josh Hansen?
Definitely. Josh Hansen's been one of those riders that I think mentally has been getting beat up a little bit. He's been getting passed by Langston, been getting passed by Millsaps and stuff. So this is an opportunity. If he can get up front and get away from these guys, and here we see Matt Walker down again. Matt Walker having a hard time now, one lap down. But this kid, Josh Grant, came onto the scene last year at the Nationals, really put in some great performances, been injured a little bit, but now he's leading the Daytona Supercross.
And meanwhile, Grant Langston has moved up to 5th position, so one of our favorites is on the recovery path. There he is right there.
That was a fast recovery, Brian. I didn't think he was going to get back going quite that quick. Went completely off the racetrack, and usually when you make a big mistake like that early in the race, you get passed by packs of people, but he was able to limit the damage and keep himself in position to win the race. I don't mean to overlook Josh Grant's ability to win the race, but I'm just thinking a rider like Josh Hansen, who's already won a main event, might be a bit more experienced at a time like this.
And consider this, too, along with the facts that we saw on the screen. 20 times they've raced 125s here. 15 of those times, the winner of Daytona has become the winner of the championship. Let that little fact sit in your minds for a while. While we take a commercial break, we'll come back to action in the 125 main event here at Daytona. It has already been action-packed, and we're having a lot of fun. Hope you are, too. Up to the lead right now, but just as exciting are the riders coming up through the front. Davey Millsap's up to 8th position, made up about 4 spots, and one big deal. We'll see him in just a few moments as he heads towards the front, but right now, we've got to be impressed with the leader. Pass for second.
Pass for second is Troy Adams going in, and Adams is one of those guys. He's a big physical guy. He's 190 pounds on the 254-stroke Honda, but this track plays for strong guys. So watch for Troy Adams. He's been very impressive in the past. He's one of the guys that's going to be pushing at the end of the race.
And Matt Walker, the flags are out. That's the 3rd time he's hit the deck, and what a disgusting night. And Langston has gone down off the triple. He's in a blind spot. Lucky he's not going to get hit. Millsaps is getting around him. Millsaps, we talked about how much progress he'd made. The reason for that was a 57.3, the fastest lap so far, close to what the 250s are running. So he is in position to win the race now.
Grant Langston having all kinds of problems as we continue to watch the leader here. He had gotten up to 5th position.
And one of the problems that a lot of people complain about the 4-strokes, and Grant Langston is right there. He's having a hard time getting his bike started. He finally got it started. He's a distant last place. So everything that you think is going to happen wrong happens here at Daytona. Grant Langston was in a position to make a lot of points on Davey Millsap, and now goes down on the big triple.
And speaking of having a tough time starting the bike, I talked about Josh Grant's first national. He led it. He was actually pulling a gap on the field at Hangtown last year. tipped over in a rut and could not start the bike and DNF'd the race. And now we're looking at Grant Langston giving up a lot of points here possibly to Davey Millsaps for the title.
Well, this has really turned the title chase upside down. You fellas made the point about 250s versus 450s in the big class, but it seems as though the four-strokes are completely dominating racing, and with that one little exception, if you stop one, it's hard to get it going again.
Yeah, and you know, there's one other exception. That would be James Stewart on 125. He might be able to make something happen there, but for everybody else, there's just not enough torque on a 125 to keep up with these 254 strokes.
And we saw that in the highlight. Here is Grant Langston, the points leader. Well, he was, let's just say, until we do the math, before this tremendous upside-down turn for him. But Josh Grant continues to impress out front while Langston is trying to do damage control.
Well, Grant's in a position to where, I've been in this position with David. You know, you're racing for a championship, and I seen David go down, or David saw me get stuck in a gate at one time. You relax a little bit, and you think, my main competition's got some time out. I can relax. And I think Grant messed up a little bit, relaxed on that big triple, and went down. And now he's just got to claw and dig his way for every point.
The top 6 riders that last lap all turning within a half a second lap time. So Millsaps, all the progress he made early, he's not able to close the gap very much. Okay. And Josh Grant I think he's getting comfortable out front. He seems to be finding the lines he likes. And you know, when you get a lead like this and you got a lot of pressure, it's difficult to get into your rhythm. And he doesn't have a lot of pressure because all the big guys were making mistakes behind him, and he may be able to pull this off, Rick.
But Daytona's been a place for underdogs, and I really didn't, I don't say that Josh Grant is an underdog. There we get the cross flags, which means halfway. He's not an underdog, but Ricky Ryan has won this race. A lot of underdogs have come and won here because anything can go on at Daytona. Here we see Adams in second place, riding very, very strong, but Davey Millsaps moving in, still in sixth place, trying to go by Chad Johnson for fifth place.
Donnie Hansen's son, Josh Hansen, starting to make some progress on the battle for second.
Millsaps 15th on the first lap is up to 5th. He's heading for the front. Will he get there? We'll see.